Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'm reading Judges 14 of the King James Version Bible, and it reads, "And Samson went down to Timnath and saw a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. And he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines. Now therefore get her for me to wife. Then his father and his mother said unto him, Is there never a woman among the daughters of thy brethren, or among all my people, that thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines? And Samson said unto his father, Get her for me, for she pleaseth me well. But his father and his mother knew not that it was of the Lord that he sought an occasion against the Philistines, for at that time the Philistines had dominion over Israel. Then went Samson down, and his father and his mother, to Timnath, and came to the vineyards of Timnath, and behold, a young lion roared against him. And the Spirit of the Lord came mightily upon him, and he rent him as he would have rent a kid. And he had nothing in his hand, but he told not his father or his mother what he had done. And he went down and talked with the woman, and she pleased Samson well. And after a time he returned to take her, and he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion, and behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took thereof in his hands, and went on eating, and came to his father and mother, and he gave them, and they did eat. But he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men to do. And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him. And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. If ye can certainly declare it within the 7 days of the feast, and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. But if ye cannot declare it me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, Put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it. And he said unto them, Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. And it came to pass on the 7th day that they said unto Samson's wife, Entice thy husband, that he may declare unto us the riddle, lest we burn thee and thy father's house with fire. Have ye called us to take that we have? Is it not so? And Samson's wife wept before him, and said, Thou dost but hate me, and lovest me not. Thou hast put forth a riddle unto the children of my people, and hast not told it me. And he said unto her, Behold, I have not told it my father nor my mother, and shall I tell it thee? And she wept before him the 7 days, while their feast lasted. And it came to pass on the 7th day that he told her, because she lay sore upon him. And she told the riddle to the children of her people. And the men of the city said unto him on the 7th day, before the sun went down, What is sweeter than honey, and what is stronger than a lion? And he said unto them, If ye had not plowed with my heifer, ye had not found out my riddle. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he went down to Ashkelon, and slew 30 men of them, and took their spoil, and gave change of garments unto them which expounded the riddle. And his anger was kindled, and he went up to his father's house. But Samson's wife was given to his companion, whom he had used as his friend. Alright guys, here we see where Samson went to the Philistines in Timnath, and he saw a woman of the Philistines that enticed him, and he told his father and his mother that he wanted her for his wife. And it did come of the Lord, okay, that he would take her to wife so that he could be among the Philistines, right? So he could carry out whatever plan the Lord had in place for him. However, his mother and father did not agree with this. And so what happened was that he went down to see her of his own accord. And he obviously ate of the unclean thing which the Lord had said he should not have eaten of. He ate of the carcass. And we know from Exodus straight to Levite that a dead carcass is not a clean thing. You should not eat of the blood, okay? And it might have seemed to be honey, but it was not indeed honey. Okay, how can you get honey from within a lion? Think on it. Don't take the Bible too literally, guys. I think that's where we fall at times. Okay, when we take things literally. It's not literal. Okay? Let's stop looking at things very literally and look at things from God's perspective. Ask him to open our eyes so that we can see what he's actually saying to us and not what we see just like that. Okay? Alright, so we see where he went and he actually followed himself basically. Right? And he basically went into his own filth because he killed the lion and then he went back to eat off the lion, honey out of the lion, as the Bible says, honey. So yeah, so he ate the meat of the lion, right? And he gave it unto his mother and his father also, and they did not know that it was unclean. Okay? And I think the reason why he did not tell them all that happened was because he went to see the daughter of the Philistine on his own accord, because they did not go down to get her to wife for him. And he obviously went ahead until they found out that he went. So they decided, okay, they need to take her to wife him because he's going anyway. He's going after his heart anyway. And there was no need in them fighting against him. So they went with him. However, it would appear that even with all this, right, because he sullied himself, he was no longer basically clean as the Lord had intended him to be when he originally wanted him to marry the daughter of the Philistines. Because it did say that it was the Lord that wanted him to marry the children of the Philistine. It was of God. It was the will of God for him to do that. Okay? But he went and followed himself because his parents had denied him, and he went to see her of his own accord. And so the plan has been basically put at jeopardy at this point in time. And we see where this plan wasn't actually coming true, because at the end of the chapter it says that Samson's wife was given to his friend, to his companion. Okay? So she did not become his wife anymore because she deceived him. And I guess she deceived him. I mean, I can imagine. She deceived him because her people wanted to kill her father for his sake, so that they could find out the riddle. Okay? And she had to do what she had to do. And this was all set in motion because of the fact that his parents did not heed unto the word of the Lord when he spoke. And they basically followed their own devices, okay? They followed their own ruling, their own thoughts. And that just goes to show also that even though God does not want something to happen, he will give you a command that seems out of the way, out of the norm, but it's not for you to question. It's only for you to know the voice of the Lord, knowing the Lord is speaking to you, and listen to him, hearken unto him, and do as he commands, and not question what he says. I've used this because I've been in a debate basically with my mother and a friend of mine. Okay, that the Lord uses people in different ways, and he will speak to someone and say, do this, and he will not basically vindicate someone else for doing it. Sorry, that's not the right word to use in that case. Not vindicate, convict someone else to do it. Okay, so we know that it is customary for men not to grow their hair, but the Lord told Samson's parents that scissors, razor, nothing should touch Samson's hair. Samson's hair should grow. And here again, remember the Lord had said that he did not want the children of Israel to be with the uncircumcised Philistines. He didn't want them to be, not with uncircumcised Philistines, that wasn't the word. He didn't want them to be with the inhabitants of the land that they had possessed, which the Philistines would have been in that category, would have fallen in that category. And here we see that he himself, the Lord, had wished it, had willed it for Samson to marry a Philistine. So Samson's like an exception to some of the rules, and that's just how God operates at times. He sets aside different tasks for different people, and it might be different from the path that you're on and from the path that he stayed everyone else on, but he knows what his plans are for carrying out the action in that way and for wanting things to be done just so. And so we need to allow him to let his work be done and not hinder his work. Alright, guys? So that is my word to you. Okay? Don't allow yourself to hinder the work of God. Avail yourself to him for him to do as he sees fit. And if it goes against the norm, remember, God's word supersedes all. So if God had said, I'd written it down in the Bible and say, this is how it ought to be done, and the Lord comes to you himself or sends an angel to you himself. And if you guys remember, I said try the Spirit. Okay, we should try the Spirit, so you'll know if it's the Spirit of God, and you listen to what the Lord has to say to you. Okay, I'm not saying that if a spirit comes to you and tells you to do something, it supersedes what God says. That's why you should try the Spirit of God to ensure that it is indeed God that is speaking to you and giving you a message. Okay, because the word of God supersedes everything else, and that's what you need to know, and that's what we all need to remember each and every time. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave you here. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted to whenever a new audio video is posted. Have yourselves a blessed day, and please remember to keep your salvation, and if you've not yet gained it, seek it. There's no better time to begin than the present. Have yourself a blessed day. Bye.